Ladies and gents, it's finally that time. We have seen the light and oh boy, does it look beautiful. With the latest PlayStation 5 live reveal event, we got to look at some of the brand new games, some of the first party ones, some of the third party ones, some coming out this year and early next year. With so much hype around the event, rightly so, we got to see the damn box, insert many memes here. But with this huge distraction, it would have been easy to miss some of the games announced. But don't worry, here's a rundown of all the games announced at the PS5 REVEAL event. To kick off the whole stream, Sony just punched us right in the face with the biggest announcement of the whole damn thing, unless you're a huge Bugsnax fan, because you know, who isn't? Now, after the conference ended, we got some more details on the game, and we know a little bit more about SpiderMan Miles Morales. It turns out, after all the hype died down, that this is a remaster of the 2018 Spider-Man, but with a substantial expansion with Miles Morales. We had an inkling that this would be a smaller and simpler game, similar to that of Uncharted The Lost Legacy and Far Cry New Dawn. This is not bad news, however, as we get to see the original that looked beautiful back in 2018 for the PS5. Whether or not current owners of the game can get that upgrade for a discounted price is a whole other discussion. We really do not know anything about Sony's smart delivery process, and that is hard to predict what the plan is. However, Spider-Man Miles Morales is set to release this year for, of course, the PlayStation 5.
You sense the power that flows through this land.
Kena, Bridge of Spirits is a Pixar-like adventure game where you play as Enchantress as they try to defeat an unknown enemy which seems to be plaguing the beautiful and magic forests. From the trailer, this game seems absolutely beautiful, taking full advantage of ray tracing and brand new capabilities of the new hardware. This looks as if it's a mix between Fable and Breath of the Wild, and that is not a bad thing. The gameplay seems super interesting as we see spells, shields and melee. Not much else is known except from this is developed by Ember Labs, a team well known for their insane animation on screen. So if anything, this is going to look beautiful. Kena releases in 2020 on the PS4, PS5 and PC via the Epic Games Store.
You ever feel like you're just waiting for a sign?
Goodbye Volcano High is a very interesting pick, especially for a PS5 reveal event. This is a choice-based game similar to that of Life is Strange. The artwork and graphics of the game look quite like it's straight out of an anime or comic book. This is a game all about things coming to an end. Quite a meaningful idea, except this is a game about the last year of goddamn dinosaur school. Actually, now I think about it, that does sound pretty cool. Goodbye Volcano High releases on both PS4 and PS5 in 2021.
You see things others can't.
Ghostwire Tokyo was first announced last year at E3. You remember that thing? That was in the before times, when we used to be able to go outside. Oh no, that just made me really sad. Anyway, we now have some more information about the game. This is a supernatural horror/thriller, where there's pretty much all of humanity in Tokyo has disappeared, and replaced with somehow monsters and aliens. It's your job to fight them and find out what the hell is going on. You do this with magic powers and melee in first person for that extra added spice of horror. Of course, due to the title, the game is set in Tokyo, and what a good choice for this to demonstrate what the console is capable of. Ghostwire Tokyo releases in 2021, exclusive to the PS5.
Perished 1,000 years ago.
Horizon Zero Dawn is finally getting a sequel. We all knew it was going to happen, but that did not stop the hype. In the long-awaited sequel Horizon Forbidden West, you explore the Westlands, seeing all new terrain, animals and enemies to fight. The map this time appears way more interesting as we get multiple split islands. Not much else was given, we do not know exact release timeframe for this one, but I think it's safe to say that this is a launch title as it would sell so many copies. Bloody Bugsnax. This is what happens when you give cocaine to a game developer and tell them to make whatever comes into their head. This is like a cartoonish game where you literally become what you eat over time. Take that as you will, I have no idea how to explain it. This comes from the team behind Octodad, so it's going to be weird but probably received quite well. I don't know what else to say. This is set to release this year on both PS4 and PS5. Watch the trailer, it's on screen now. I don't know.
The forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence.
Resident Evil is back, and back with a bang by the looks of it. After the revival of the franchise with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes, this game takes us to the snowy and foggy village somewhere probably in Europe. It looks quite familiar. This installment appears to be similar to 7. It continues the story from there, but it also takes a lot of inspiration from the last one when it comes to gameplay and action. It's safe to say we've taken a big departure from the action inventory management style that the franchise started with. Resident Evil 8 comes out next year on the PS5.
It was always gonna end like this.
Now, I was not expecting this one. My expectations for a new Hitman game were so low, but I was amazed when we got to see the trailer for the next installment of Hitman. Hitman 3 seems to be the concluding chapter for this version of the series. The reboot of the franchise absolutely brought it back to mainstream culture. They're great games, and if this is half as good as the last one, then this will be amazing. IO Interactive have always pushed the boundaries with how well these games look, and they're pulling out all the stops for this one. Hitman 3 is set to release in January 2021, a very nice start to what I can only describe as a much better year than this one. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I probably have jinxed us now.
For everyone else on this island, this place is paradise. A never-ending party, where hunting me is the main attraction.
This is a very exciting pick for me personally. This game encapsulates everything I love. Deathloop is hopefully Bethesda's comeback. This is a game where Groundhog Day and Hitman meet with an art style similar to that of BioShock. You play as a highly skilled guy trapped in a loop where you have to fight your way through a city full of people wanting to kill you simply because it's fun. To escape, you've got to kill 8 targets to get free by midnight. However, there's a rival assassin trying to stop you, and we believe that this rival is an online multiplayer, making it even more interesting. Deathloop seems awesome, and it's releasing holiday 2020, hopefully day 1 release.
The crash. The attack. My death.
Sticking with the loop theme now, Volcano is a game all about fighting monsters with big heavy weapons as an astronaut. This is one of the entries for the PS5, which is leveraging 3D audio technology to bring the alien world to life. The planet you fight on changes every time when you die. This is an interesting concept, but we're still quite in the dark about it. This is designed by Housemarque, the guys behind Stormdivers, Nex Machina and Alienation. We know nothing about the release date yet, except it seems to be an only PS5 release for now. Sola Ash is beautiful looking, it's hyper stylized and has great flowing movement and traversal systems. In the game you play as a female traveller who gets caught in a black hole. Don't worry, happens to the best of us. I go out to drive to the local petrol station and there's a black hole, you just have to avoid it a bit. Within it is a whole new world full of interesting characters and huge enemies. This is of course from the team behind Hyper Light Drifter, a similar looking game and could quite possibly be in the same universe. Sola Ash is set to release on PS5 in 2021.
You alright back there? No way.
Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is a brand new adventure with one of the PlayStation's biggest characters. We knew we were going to get something like this. Knack, Ratchet & Clank and others needed to be on the system simply to gain attention of younger audiences. This game adds a whole new gameplay feature. This was introduced to us in something like BioShock Infinite and Titanfall 2, but this time travel feature seems really awesome and is a very good example of how we do not have any loading screens. The PS5 manages to load several different maps instantly in this trailer without cutting to a loading screen. No release date was mentioned, however this has to be a day 1 launch, surely. Demon's Souls has finally been remade with a fresh new lick of paint, some reworking of mechanics and Bluepoint at the helm. This is going to be really good. Bluepoint, of course, most known for their excellent work on the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, they know their way around a remaster. Demon's Souls is known for its extreme difficulty, so if you want to sink your teeth into something really rage-inducing, this is quite literally the game for you. We have no idea on the release date yet, however it's been since 2009 since the last one, so you know, any time now would be nice. If you're a racing game fan, then this is straight up your alley. Gran Turismo has resurfaced once again to demonstrate the power of this console. Racing games are excellent at demonstrating graphical capabilities, and well, this does just that. Like, I'm sure it's a good racing game, but I don't care. I just want to play it to see how good the graphics look. Look at that realistic rain. GT, for those who do not know, is a track racing sim, somewhat different to your arcade racers such as Need for Speed and Forza Horizon. No release date is known, but it's safe to say that this again will be a launch title. Project Athia was the wild card of this conference. It raised so many questions and answered, well, none of them. Square Enix's next game allows you to become a magic girl with a cape who travels far and wide, adventuring and taking down mystical creatures with her powers. That's really all we know. No release date except from it's coming to PS5 and PC. I would love to know more about this. It's probably going to be coming out later on in the PS5's lifecycle. This is something to look forward to. It's time to return to the world of LittleBigPlanet. With Sackboy by your side, it's time to play a classic platformer in the world of creation. With Media Molecule stepping down on the franchise and Sumo Digital taking over, it may not feel like classic LittleBigPlanet, but it looks just like it. However, this seems to be ditching the whole creation part of the last 3 games and just sticking to a campaign. Because of this, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is discounted or bundled with the actual console. We have no info on when it's set to release, but as it seems to be a smaller game, it could be a launch title. It's 2K21, it's a basketball game, it's coming out in the fall of 2020, and it's probably on everything, including the Switch and mobile phones and whatever you have. Next! Astro's Playroom is a very similar game to Sackboy's Adventure. It's a platforming game targeted towards kids. It seems to be a smaller production. Astro Boy has always been PlayStation's experimental character, adding him in wherever they need to test something. They did this with PSVR, so this could be a test for something graphical or gameplay features. There isn't much to say about this one, except it's preloaded into your PS5. It's a free game, now isn't that lovely? Thank you, Mr. PlayStation, I love you. Destruction All-Stars is what happens when Rocket League meets Gang Beasts. It's an arena battle game where you can defeat your opponent both in your vehicle and on foot. This looks extremely fun and vibrant. The aim of the online match is to destroy as many cars as possible. Nothing is said about a release date yet, however I could guess that this is a PS4 and PS5 release and will come out later in 2021. Godfall was the first ever PS5 game announced back in 2019, aka the Golden Years. It's the first of its kind, a looter slasher, which is just an awesome name. It's a fantasy role-playing game with third-person melee combat. Players hunt for loot as they fight enemies, and it's by Gearbox, you know, the Borderlands guys, so it's gonna at least have some interesting dialogue. The trailer was also set to some awesome music, and if that carries on into the game, then that's an instant win. This is supposedly a launch title for the PS5 along with a PC release with it. Now, there's games on this list that I can actually give information to you about. Then, this Pragmata. I really have no idea what this is. It's Capcom's next game with a Destiny/Death Stranding vibe. The trailer really doesn't show us anything, except from a cat. There's a cat. It's a holographic cat. That's all I've got for you on this one. It's coming to PS5, Xbox and PC in 2022. Little Devil Inside is an adventure game similar to that of Zelda with a very cute art style. There's action with sword fighting and bombs, and there's traversal features like rope climbing and exploring. Fun fact, this was announced as a Kickstarter for the Wii U back in 2016, but never went anywhere. However, it's back for the PS5. It looks weird, but weird is good, and that's what we want. No other details are known, unfortunately, on this one, but I'm sure there is more to come. In a world where you're a cat and humans have been replaced with robots in a futuristic city. Sorry. Stray is a super good looking solo third person adventure game where you run around as a cat with a rucksack. What more do you want? This is set to be released for PS5 and PC next year.
You are no longer a slave, Abe.
I will be honest, this looks like a fever dream. Oddworld is a platformer, shooter, and adventure game in a long-running series that I've actually never heard of before. There's puzzles, enemies, and jumping to be done. This comes out for the PS4, PS5, and PC via the Epic Games Store. Jet the Far Shore, which has made me do this take 5 times already, appears to be a world-building adventure set in a futuristic world where you have to carve out a future for humanity. It seems to have been haunted and fallen by oblivion. This comes with an origami-like art style and is very creative. It's set to release on PS4, PS5, and again, PC via the Epic Games Store this holiday. And that is it, all the games announced at the PS5 live reveal. Of course, there were some other little ones. GTA 5 was announced, but that was announced a billion years ago and we expected it, so didn't include it on this list. There are so many games and so little time. What is your favourite and most hyped one? Comment it down below and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching this video and justifying my morning of writing about video games. I am Harry Gray, and can you do me a favour? Can you have a great day? Thank you.